Okay, so half time in this epic rugby rivalry in the group stage of the ICC Men's T20 World Cup. New Zealand 175 for 7. It was a fun innings, but it's the kind of innings that I'm delighted there are two former cricketers in the studio with me, because this is the kind of innings I do not know how to analyse. Ian Bishop is here, and Sabah Karim has rightfully thrown out Gaurav Sundaraman because, you know, Sabah on our pre-show, GS was doing this Marco Jansen piece of how he's struggling and maybe he's not found the right lens. We did analysis of it, and Marco's got his best figures ever in a T20 World Cup. He's also the most expensive bowler of the night, fast bowler of the night. So make of it what you will. Now 175, which that's close to what you predicted with 180, and they were going at 10s till the 13th over. They were losing wickets as well. So what kind of score is this, and what do you take away from that innings? What stands out?
Mark Chapman. I think we talked about him before the show, and he's been batting well, Sabah. Probably more so in 50 over cricket, but generally in white ball cricket, I like the look of what I saw. And then there was that stumble in the middle there where they lost, 3 wickets or 4, which sort of slowed proceedings. So I thought they would have gotten more, to be quite honest with you, with the way that things kicked out at the end of the power play, even though they'd lost a couple of wickets. What sort of total is it? I would think slightly under par with the dew starting to form and all of that. But good on your boy, Marco Jansen, for proving himself and really putting it up his haters.
Okay, I just enjoyed listening to that. Yeah, there were 2 strange triple blows that they had. Otherwise, the scoring was good. They went from 57 for 1 to 64 for 4. And they still managed to go at 10s for a bit. Then they went 138 for 4 to 145 for 7. And they still ended at 175. So I'm very confused, like I said. So your thoughts on that innings and picking off for what Bish
I could
said,
understand the approach of New Zealand. So they lost 3 wickets within the power play. Then 1 more wicket of Glenn Phillips in the 7th over. And from there it was kind of a difficult job for Chapman and Daryl Mitchell to put some runs on board. They tried their best. Bish mentioned Mark Chapman. He's an energetic batter, looks to score runs all the time, has got a lot of shots, was unable to get, I mean, he did manage to score about 48 runs, but that's the time when New Zealand expected both Daryl Mitchell and Mark Chapman to kickstart. That's the time they were looking for that onslaught that should have helped New Zealand to a strong finish. But because again there was a cluster of wickets that fell in that period, New Zealand were not able to post a big score. I still feel on a track like this at Ahmedabad with dew coming in, this is a below par score. The kind of batting lineup they have and the kind of force they have, and on top of that the kind of form they have displayed so far. The New Zealand side have been a very stable kind of a team so far, even in the batting lineup. But somehow I think they would be kind of disappointed. And I'm sure they're about 10-15 runs short at this stage.
All right, interesting. Let's talk about star performers. You all have both brought up Chapman. Jansen, we spoke of variations and how many he'll need to bring in to try and be a all-round T20 bowler. I think at least 2 wickets Bish today on memory on the slower ball. The big one of Chapman, which is beautifully disguised. And I think even Finn Allen was a slower ball or a change of pace, and then he hit that length. So what did you pick up from a technical point as to why Jansen was successful?
I think it's more of when to bowl what that stood out to me. I was asking Gaurav before he disappeared and he was substituted out by Sabah if he could give me a little sequential breakdown of his first over. He got a couple of boundaries there, but they were hit off a length. But I thought, as I watched him and as I watched him get a couple of wickets, I was thinking to myself, bowl it here, on off stump. He did that. So I think his sequencing was better, when to change his pace, and even though you're changing the pace, to drop it on that length was critical. My only thing that I toyed with was whether after bowling the first 2 overs of his spell, I think he'd gotten a wicket in that 2nd over. I was wondering if they could have just bowled him a 3rd straight up.
Sabah, Marco Jansen?
Very impressive, and I think not only Marco Jansen, just want to talk about Kagiso Rabada also. Whatever transpired in the last game, both of them were left scarred, And I think for them, especially for Marco Jansen, to come back and pick up those 4 wickets, that was a remarkable comeback for Marco Jansen. Even for Kagiso Rabada, although he didn't pick up any wickets, but extremely miserly in his 4-over spell, conceded only about 27 runs. I was quite impressed the way he got the wicket of Tim Seifert. Marco Jansen, the short pitch delivery, the kind of field positioning Marco Jansen had set for Tim Seifert, you could figure out that he will try and hit Marco Jansen over covers or over mid-off, because the fielders were inside the circle. But then for him to bowl that short pitch delivery and to get that ball to bounce, that induced a thick outside edge. So that was smart thinking on part of Marco Jansen. We saw that in his entire spell. He was able to outsmart most of the batters with the slower delivery, with the kind of length which he bowled. So overall, very impressive and very effective, 4-over spell for Marco Jansen.
I think he has
much needed.
Yeah, he has about
South
3 more
Africa.
World Cups at least in him. He's 25 years of age. And I think the way that we've seen him grow from 2023 semi-final to what he is now, I think he'll be excellent.
Hasn't he added some more deception in his bowling Bish? Because I could sense that he was trying to the slow delivery that he bowls. I think the release is really the deception or the variation comes in very late. It's not easy for the batter to pick Marco Jansen.
And the little knuckleball he's developed as well. Sorry, I'm sorry.
Oh, this is what I love. Don't apologize when you guys carry on that. That's what the show's about. I've been trying that for years.
But he was grimacing, isn't it?
Finally, you guys have understood what you're here for. Keep going.
No, I thought he had a grimace on his face. He didn't. He wasn't liking it at all.
No. I had the kind of jokes that now I have to filter up when I work with Bish at other places. But they come here.
I just think that he'll be phenomenal. I think his batting will grow.
Yeah.
He's starting to understand his control and his muscle memory and all of that. He plays across formats, so I like what I'm seeing from him, and he's determined to get better.
Yeah, the only reason I had the grimace was when Bish said he has 3 more World Cups in him. Now, if you're talking T20 World Cups, that's basically another couple of years, right? So
6 years.
6 years.
He'll be 31 by the time the third one comes along, so he could have 4 or 5. No, it's a good thing. It's
good. I mean, that's why I just went with the frequency of the T20 World Cups. There's lots of it for Marco Jansen. Okay, excellent from Marco Jansen. Let's just quickly wrap it up on the New Zealand front, though. And I think one thing we discussed about the explosive opening partnership that Allen and Seifert have. But what about on a day where both of them you can be dismissed reasonably cheaply? And Finn Allen, 31 of 17, Seifert, 13 of 9. I think I heard Simon Dool or Ian Smith, it was on air, just go right now. The depth in batting is tested. So how did that depth in batting look to you? I think Daryl Mitchell in the middle order has been a regular point of conversation in this T20I side. You mentioned Chapman, but overall if you have to analyse how New Zealand's batting health looks, if they are a team that will go deep, what did you pick from this game?
Well, I think Rachin Ravindra's
point of concern?
Yes, it is. It is hurting New Zealand, and I think not that he's not an excellent player, but his current form does not give so much of confidence to the New Zealand batting lineup. Maybe they need to have a plan B. Can they push Daryl Mitchell up the order? Can he bat at number 3? Because Glenn Phillips is coming to number 4. The kind of skill set that Daryl Mitchell has, he's been a phenomenal one-day batter. So suppose a wicket falls early in the power play, both these one of these openers, can they send Daryl Mitchell up the order? Because in any case, you'll have some power at the other end. And can they try and play those 4 or 5 overs and then get your powerful batters to come through? That's the kind of change we may expect from New Zealand batting lineup. At this stage, I think Rachin Ravindra's form is a major concern for New Zealand, especially at number 3.
It's not only the form, the way that he got out today. We've done assessments on that mode of dismissal for him, punching at the ball or driving at the ball and nicking off down behind in Test cricket, in 50-over cricket and T20 cricket. So that is perhaps the more troubling thing. The pattern, the left-right combination is something that influences their batting order as well. But Phillips is yet to fly. I think he'll fly at some point during the World Cup.
If I could go a little deeper on that, though, teams are obviously identifying an area to bowl to Rachin Ravindra. What's his counter?
Try and play as late as possible, because that's the biggest issue at this stage for Rachin Ravindra. Even the dismissal today, trying to play away from his body. Normally when he's in great form, you'll always see him play the shots even in a T20 format under his eye. We have seen him even on IPL on wickets that has challenged him. Still he has been able to remain very stable. His base is strong and he allows the ball to come to him. But and especially in this World Cup, we have seen on numerous occasions when even when he is beaten, he's trying to play away from his body. His bat is far ahead of his body, and I think that's been the problem for Rachin Ravindra.
And if you look back at his dismissal tonight, he said stable base, play under the eyes. Tonight he was actually on the walk when he nicked that off, so he didn't have a base.
All right, quick predictions for the second innings here. And Maharaj has bowled 3 overs, 1 for 24. Markram bowled that other over. There are not a lot of teams who only play one specialist spinner. But Sean Pollock, I think, did say at the pitch report he expects you to come in. And you've said that as well, Sabha. Therefore, you think this is short. Will spin have a role to play tonight for New Zealand? Is that going to perhaps be the difference, whether they can defend this or not?
Well, they need some early wickets. More than spinners is the pace bowling attack, and I think New Zealand, to a large extent, they do rely on their quicks to pick up early wickets. They do have some quality spinners, Mitch Santner, Glenn Phillips, and I think on a surface that we have seen so far at Ahmedabad with the dew setting in, it will not be easy for the spinners to have that kind of an impact.
Santner generally bowls well. He's been bowling well in the tournament, but I think they need more than that. So I'm not bullish about it, but I'd give South Africa the edge in chasing.
All right. I could have given you 4 options as to what your prediction would be. New Zealand wins, South Africa wins, super over, double super over.
Don't even talk about double super over. I was calling when that happened.
Oh, you've got your voice back. You've got your voice back.
Oh,
Sabha.
God.
Okay, so I think South Africa hold the edge is the opinion for Bish as well as Sabha. Thank you, gentlemen. More conversation after we've seen which team has picked up the points and remains undefeated in this Group D. So join us for post-match analysis, where we'll welcome your questions and comments too on ESPN Cricket for Timeout. See you then.